Thanks. Thank you. So, yeah, if you're not interested by having fun and making money, it's still time to leave, huh? Okay, fine. So we can stay. Thank you. So guys, it's about real estate. You must have recognized that to our suits. So we're going to talk about real estate now. What we want to do with you today, so I'm Philippe, and I will moderate this panel, which is organized by Club France, which is a gathering of real estate professionals in France. And we're going to talk about real estate, but we're going to talk about essentially data in real estate, why professionals are making out of it, what is the value that can be extracted, and how do we extract this value. Quickly, we're going to talk about product, direct investment, indirect investment, but I want to introduce first Robin Rivaton, who is a chairman at Stonal, Thierry, who is CEO of business development at La Française, and Laurent, who is global head of business services at BNP Paribas Real Estate. So pretty much what you've seen on the screen. We're going to just kick off and talk about data for real estate. So what are we talking about? Spoiler, it's not about square meter and prices only. Maybe Laurent, as you work in a pretty large firm which is involved in several businesses, do you want to kick off and say what data are we talking about and what
Yes.
we're going to make out of it?
Thank you very much. And the first to talk, thank you very much, Philippe. Real estate is about price, size, and location, okay? It's about data. All this is about data. So the real stake for our sector and business services, such as property development, property management, investment management, and brokerage, is to deal with the crazy amount of data coming already available and coming tomorrow on the market. So it's about financial data. And if I want to categorize the data, financial data, market data, pricing, valuation, the data coming from the building, of course, but also produced by the building. We'll talk later maybe about captation, which is very important. It's about customer insight and behavior within the building or outside, or urbanity in a very wide sense of it, because we're taking now real estate as more a data flux market than only buildings of real estate and many other data resources. So it's a huge opportunity for real estate when it comes to new technologies such as AI, blockchain, and other.
Maybe Thierry, you got maybe two different angles with your job: data for investment fund, but also data on the asset side. Do you want to cover that quickly?
Yes, of course. So what is La Française? La Française is an asset manager. It means that we manage portfolios of real estate assets, and we try to create value for our clients who are investors. And for this purpose, data is key, and I will say that according to me, data is the future of the asset management. Why? Because if I want to create value, I need a full knowledge of my assets, my real estate assets during their life cycle. For example, year of construction, materials used for the building of the assets, location, consumption of energy, identity of the tenant, leasehold, consumption of energy. I think I already told it, etc., etc. I try to be an ESG player, so I try to make my real estate assets more green to attract more tenants and create more revenues for my clients. On the distribution side, same thing. I need a full knowledge of my clients, their identity, because I am regulated, so I have to perform some KYC diligence, know your clients. I need to know what are their objectives in terms of investment, in terms of yield, what are their level of risk acceptance, what are they looking for in terms of ESG, etc., etc. Donc for all this purpose, data is key. I need to collect here somewhere. One day I'm able to register it on the blockchain solution. It will facilitate my life. But you see, both on the asset side and on the distribution side, data is key, and we don't speak about square meters, neither about prices.
Just to draw a comparison between other type of investments, how many investors do you have to look after investing in your funds?
I would say around 160,000. So that's a large amount of investors, a large number of investors.
Okay, so I promise that we're going to talk about making money with data in real estate. Robin is running a firm which is his core business. So Robin, how do you make money?
Hi everybody, my name is Robin and I'm the CEO of Stonal. Stonal is a data management platform for the real estate industry, focusing on large asset owners. And what we have discovered in this industry is that these large asset owners don't have a precise view of their assets. They don't know them, or very barely. And, but they already send a lot of people on site to collect information, to get fire safety inspection, to get asbestos report, to get energy performance certificate. And we have developed AI and machine learning algorithms able to classify all these documents and extract valuable information within the documents to recreate a database about their building. Creating such a database is really the first step to have a Web3 real estate, as real estate is are not listed assets, and it's very difficult to have transparency about the assets. And if we want to have to tokenize some assets, to put it on the blockchain, of course, we need to have precise information, precise data about this building. So what we do is really the first step. Now we have 200 million square meters on our platform. So we help like 2 million housing units are managed through the Stonal platform. 40% of all the high schools in France, 40% of all the universities. If we have students here, they could be, or maybe their buildings could be managed on the Stonal platform. And it's really the first step, as I said, because today in real estate, all the Web3 based model, very few of them have succeeded. And the reason is really because data was not available. People are not really keen to share the data, are not really keen to extract and know very well the assets. But if we want to create a tokenized and a liquid asset pool on real estate, and I think it's the goal of many of us, we really need to better know the assets.
And just quickly, what is the value proposition for the client? Is it a per square meter issue? Is it a
per housing units or per buildings, and per year, of course, it's an annual subscription. And the company has grown quite well, funded in 2017, and we raised 100 million euros last year to deploy the company across Europe.
Okay. I'd like now that each of you could comment, explain, and share, because I'm sure there's a lot of knowledge to share and also to grab from the audience of what are your projects. But before that, Laurent, can you explain a couple of different businesses that you have at BNP Paribas Real Estate and how digital intel is playing out with that?
Okay, so BNP Paribas Real Estate is a subsidiary of BNP Paribas, okay, you know the bank. And we have the chance, the opportunity that the bank is looking very, very strongly on AI and data, historically. It's part of the business when it comes to transaction, for example. So just a few figures. We have 1,000 AI projects on run, and the added value of the AI already within the bank is 700 million euros added value already. Okay, so why is the chance for us? Because as real estate expert, dealing with property management, so it's all about dealing data, more and more data coming from how you manage the building. So flux, energy performance, ESG, regulation, all this is about data and LLM model will help to gather the information and make it more efficient. It's a key point. Property development, as we already deployed some AI agent to detect some fields, to help to better detect fields with open data. So it's more easier for our sales guys to identify where we can build. And tomorrow, gathered with the data from the cities around, it's going to be very important. When it comes to investment management, it deals with how you manage portfolios of building, you assess the value, you create more value from your portfolio, and especially very important, all the operational efficiency you can get from all regulation, legal, and compliance issue, which is a nightmare. It needs to be simplified. And for brokerage, because we have also strong position in brokerage and letting and sales investment, once again, it's getting more oriented on customer insight, the way you can accelerate the customer journey. Okay, this is very important, this point. So making the reports, all the documents and the customer path through the services very seamless and clean. So it's all about that.
Okay, just maybe one topic to share with you before I let the guys share their current projects. We talked a couple of times about ESG. So real estate, you think that it's about just a certification, regulation. I think something I'd like to share with you is that for tenants, of course, big corporates, but also for any tenants, a building which is performing well from an environmental point of view is better income for the landlord over time. It's going to be better net income for the landlord. And also another thing, looking at the value of buildings when you look at their ESG score, so their sustainability performance, is that a lot of the money which is looking at a big lot size in commercial real estate that can buy towers, warehouses or shopping center is coming from long-term capital, pension funds and insurance companies. And they have in their investment policy to also protect the value of their pensioners for the long term, so they go for the greener assets. So this is why any of you has mentioned ESG at the moment. Thierry, want to share something on a current project you're working on something?
Okay, this year and next year, our main concern will be artificial intelligence. How can I can implement artificial intelligence within our process to improve our process and to be able to deliver more efficiency, more value add to our clients. So what we did this year, so we created some working teams, working session within our company across all the business units. First, to introduce what is generative artificial intelligence, and secondly, to hear the request, the need from the team about what we can do to help them to upgrade their life at work. So at the end of the day, we collected 187, I think, use cases that we can gather into several categories: task automation, documentation processing, control, what else? Generation of contents, reports regarding the activity, regarding the meetings, control, of course. And we are very lucky because we are a subsidiary of Crédit Mutuel, Crédit Mutuel Alliance Fédérale, which is, as you know, a big French bank. And we have within this group a dedicated entity which manage all the IT topics. The name is Euroinformation, very huge teams, very huge means. So we are able this year to start to implement some solutions with the Euroinformation. We will start with the solution within the translation field, voice transcription, conversation call summaries, etc., etc. Generally speaking, our wish is to implement artificial intelligence and technology within our process with two views. First thing, optimize the human time to dedicate it to higher value tasks. Second thing, reduce the operational risk and the cost linked to this risk. Two examples, and I stopped, regarding the optimization of human time. We manage, as I said, 160,000 clients. Some of them pass away, so you have to manage the inheritance. In France, managing inheritance, it's quite complicated. You have to collect a lot of documentation. You have to talk with the notaries. It takes time. It needs human time. I think that if we are able to implement artificial intelligence and IT solutions within this process, we will spare time. Second thing, operational risk. We have clients, we have to collect their bank account references to register it. It's a manual process, so when you say manual, you think risk of mistake. So from time to time, but the mistake is here. You register the wrong bank reference, so you pay the wrong guy, and then you have to pay the right one. So it's costly. So, and in this case too, I think that if we are able to put some artificial intelligence and smart contracts in this process, we will reduce our risk and be able to serve in a better way our clients. So I can develop a lot of examples, but we won't have time. But we can talk
next time.
after the round table.
Laurent, you want to comment because
two additional words before Robin. So we have four levels of pillars regarding AI in real estate. No surprise, risk management, operational efficiency, new services, how data and AI can provide new services to all our customers, and of course the customer experience overall. It can be investors, it can be B2C, B2B, whatever. So we do accelerate on those four pillars.
Maybe before moving to Robin, I've got a difficult and unprepared question for you. Huh? So it's good to have a question that we have not prepared. Huh? Your business is also pretty much relying on transaction. We are in a world of where transactions maybe don't need always a middleman. How do you, at the same time, transform digitally the business and keep the knowledge with the brokers, with your company?
Okay. When we deal with the AI regarding transaction itself, we have two possibilities. The first one is, behind your question, there is question of also of change management and cultural behavior, right? Okay. And another one is transparency of data. Yeah. When it comes to brokerage, it's fragmented and information is more or less informal, because part of the job is to get the information and to intermediate it. Okay. So the deal for it is to assume that with the data, with the AI, and all the very important, maybe later on we can talk about that, let's say, completeness of the data, accuracy of the data. All this is very important. This is a fight, because you need to change the behaviors and make sure that data is correctly collected. And with brokers, it's an issue. You need to work on that. But once it's done, you accelerate the way you do the business, and you automatize all stuff of it. And blockchain, this is another point, could eventually securize or maybe simplify it. Is it?
Yeah, sure. So it makes your data more accurate.
We need to run for that, to look for that.
And
right?
you imagine that your guys, which are intermediating transaction, will make the most of it ahead of their competitors.
Right, but beyond that, and maybe Robin can jump on that, it's transparency. Is how data is going to be standardized, aggregated, shared or not, private data versus open data, and how different actors will play the game.
Robin, you've been there developing and growing Stonal year on year. And I guess if I ask you what's new this year, I think you always have things going on. But can you really share the kind of what keeps you busy at the moment?
Yes, just before talking about Stonal, I would like to add a comment on what it has been said. Well, prior Stonal, I was a VC investor, and I studied at dozens of Web3 blockchain real estate linked companies, and most of them again have failed so far. And the reason, it's not only responsibility of the companies by themselves, it's also because the real estate sector was too rich. And the real estate industry as a whole was a very comfortable industry, especially during the last decade, from 2010 to 2020, in the sense of leverage is massive in real estate industry. So when the interest rate went to zero, you can just create quite easy value for your shareholders, for your clients, for every middleman in the industry. And it didn't make you lazy, but it does not encourage you to foster innovation and to discover and explore new strategies and new paths. And everything has changed. Everything has changed because now we have been impacted by the steepest increase of interest rate in the modern human history, from minus 0.5 to 4.5%, and it has changed everything in the industry. A lot of legacy players have to change, and La Française and BNP are super good example of people and companies trying to change their processes, their internal decision cycles to be more agile and to be able to take the new cycle in this industry, and it will open new doors for new startups, new companies. So from all the people who failed during the previous cycle, I just want to say try again, because in the new cycle, I'm pretty sure that Web3, blockchain, smart contracts solution, and not only focused on transaction. When we look at the Web3 real estate related startup, it's 80% focused on transaction. It's quite cool, but it's not the only use case Web3 can offer to this industry. And things are changing. Data is more and more accurate. Data is more and more shared. And you know this is a traditional difficulty. The less people have accurate data, the less prone to share it they are. And now they have more and more data, and people are ready to share it and ready to create some transparency on the market, to exchange this data. And some Web3 solution can be just to have the rights and the benefits for people merging and sharing their data at a sector or subsector level. And so keep faith, and for all the entrepreneurs in the Web3 blockchain real estate industry, I think the better is just in front of us.
Okay. I still want you to share some of the innovation you're working on, but just before that, we're talking about rich, poor sector. Just to share with you, last year, commercial property volumes in France were down 50%. Inflows in funds, in retail funds investing in real estate, SCPI, is done 38%. And new building permits for housing are also done minus 30 to 40% versus 2022. So it's we are less rich than we used to be. That's maybe why we do innovate a bit more. Robin, because I have to say Robin. I said Robin initially, that I was so wrong. Robin, what should tell us what you do for real?
Yes, the innovation for Stonal for this year, for 2025, we are really focused on AI, but not Gen AI, but predictive AI for work work maintenance, capex for clients, because it's also something which is currently changing, which is the capex, so the amount of money you invest in your building each year, has dramatically increased due to all the ESG requirements, all the vacancy in the building. So now you need to invest in your buildings to attract new tenants, and our clients need to have a better view, a better strategy of this capex planning. So we are currently developing a tool helping them to schedule and have a proper strategy on this capex budget, and really powered by predictive AI. Because again, we have this massive database of building with 200 million square meters, and we have seen a lot of patterns from a building to another. If we can consider, and this is in the advertising industry, they make clusters, so they consider an individual similar to another individual. We can do the same with buildings. So if we can apply a pattern to a specific building, we can apply a similar pattern to a building which is similar. So what we will do at Stonal next this year.
Thanks. So we have 6 minutes left as we are sitting on sofas talking about our problems and our success to an audience. I thought it was good to be a bit of a psychoanalytic stuff and talk about our problems and the things we have to deal with in our industry. And I'm not going to start with the banks because they have more regulation, but do you want to share the challenges you have to do that transformation? Yeah.
Challenges for data and AI and other new technologies. The first one is make sure to collect, store, organize your data. That's the big challenge. Make it transparent, share, blah, blah, and monetize it. I get some information I can share with him, but he's going to pay for it, and vice versa, right? So, because we learn from GAFAM, right? I mean, data is not no value. It's got value. It's very interesting on that point. Maybe sometimes we're going to have a marketplace for data and real estate data, whatever. So data is important. AI is critical. It's fun. It's good. Everyone wants data. Once you deliver it, you spread it through the company. Who runs it? How do you manage the performance of and the resilience of AI? Who's going to kill it? Who's going to replace it? What are going to be the competences that you're going to have to deal with all this back office run back of AI? And guess, my friend, nobody's ready. Because in all companies, it's fun to have immediate, quick AI deployed, but the mess is behind. And we need to make sure that, for example, within the company, we decided to set up some AI committee dealing with innovation, cycle of life of data, stability, instability, performance, and benchmark of what's come next. The next point and last point I will share with you is once you decide to work with someone with AI, you need to make sure that it's not the only provider you're going to have. Because this guy in 2 months is going to die and your AI is done. It's done down. Okay? So you need to make sure that you have to multiply the sources and the resilience of technology because it's so fast, so quick, that the risk is to deploy some technology you can't master any longer.
So Laurent, that's a tender for calls to receive business cards.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thierry, talk about your problems. You know, we still got a few minutes to talk about problems.
How much time?
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Wow.
You have so much problems?
Not enough. Yeah. Okay, I will focus on the 3 main problems. First problem I have to manage. What do I do? What I have to do to manage the data of my clients? We are very concerned about the preservation of the data of my clients. Tomorrow, if I want to implement a solution like ChatGPT, like DeepSeek, I have to be very cautious about where are the data of my clients. We don't want that this data get abroad. So perhaps the solution is Mistral. We have to check, we have to take time and work before implementing such solution. Second point, I want to avoid overconsumption of energy. We have 1,000 employees, and tomorrow the idea is to enable them to use ChatGPT or Mistral solution. But if a misuse of this solution can generate overconsumption of energy, it's not very good for an ESG player. So before implementing such solution, we have to take time for training, for sensibilization of the employees. Third one, the big one, if I want to develop my business, I need to be able, I have to be able to reach what I call the neo-investor, the new investors. What is a new investors? Guys, it's you. I'm thinking about young urban investors who, for example, invested into cryptocurrencies for fun, to have a look, I don't know. It generates gains, values. If you want to avoid tax, you have to remain into the crypto world. And so if I want to work with you, I have to provide you investment solution within this world. So I'm talking about tokenization of funds. Tokenization of real estate funds, it's something on the technical side which is possible, but we won't move forward as long as we won't have a clear view and confidence about the ownership of the wallets. We are regulated, we have some KYC processes to perform. As long as there are no solutions regarding the KYC and the KYT transaction side, we won't be able to move forward. So we have some work to do, and if someone has a solution, welcome.
Robin, if you don't have problem, make them up because we have 2 minutes to share your problems.
I don't have problem, but just to support my claim about the bright prospects for the Web3 real estate, we are currently in many countries. There is a current trend to have a unique identifier for buildings or even for housing units. And it's super important because if we are able to have this kind of unique identifiers, of course it helps to create a fungible and liquid market for tokenization, but also for normal transaction. And it's very good news in France. Such a number for buildings, for housing units have been introduced last year, and I think it will be spreaded over the coming years. And again, it's a very good news to identify a particular building, a particular housing unit, and to be able to trade it, to subdivide it, to sell it, to buy it.
Okay, thanks. I hope you enjoy this trip into the real estate world. If you want follow-up conversation, we are on the Club France stand, C16, and I don't think we've got enough wine, but there is some free drinks at 4 p.m. Thank you.